Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the episode of Just Say Guay. I'm your host, George Guay. Today, I'm joined by SJ Tuohy Jr., who's the Director of Football Operations at Liberty University. And you may recognize the name from the famous Blind Side story. So, SJ, thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so let's take back this whole year. How have you been? You joined the Liberty football staff. You guys have a different season than you expected given the pandemic. You guys won a bowl game. How's this whole stretch been?
Yeah, it's been eventful. That's good, right? No, you don't want to be boring. So I came here in January, and sorry, my dog hears me talking and wants to get on the interview right away. So it's been fun. We're blessed to have the year we had during the pandemic. I feel bad for a lot of teams that they were maybe adversely affected by it, but for us, it was a fun year. As fun as you can have during the times that we had. So thankful it turned out the way it did.
Yeah, a bowl game will make you remember even more forever. So let's backtrack a bit and get to the Blind Side story. What was it like being in a movie that portrays a big part of your life and a big story that involved your family?
Presley, I'm trying to do an interview here. Sorry about that, man. My dog is I got home from work and she's ready to roll.
No worries.
Yeah, man. I think that I've kind of said before when people ask that question, people say what's it like to be a part of it. We didn't really know any better. That's kind of how the reality was for our Monday through Friday daily life. And all of a sudden, years later, someone thought it was a good story, which is crazy to us and a blessing that some people were inspired by it and others aren't. That's good for them too. So I wish I would have taken better care at the time to know that we were part of something like that, other than just living life.
Yeah, so I got a few questions, about this story. Prior to Michael becoming a part of your family, did you know him at all in school and growing up in the town at all, or not really?
No, none at all. I was younger. He was at the high school, I guess, before we adopted him, obviously, but I was in like fourth grade, third grade, so no, I didn't know nothing.
Okay, and what was it like to see his football progression and eventually from becoming a part of your family to being one of the top recruits at his position in the nation and end up playing football at Ole Miss?
Again, man, we were so naive to all that stuff. I was in fifth, sixth grade watching him get recruited, so I just assumed that's kind of how it went. And I wasn't there for the daily, practice where you saw how the gains he made. Obviously, looking back, you can see how he changed his body and his skill set, and he put tons of work into it. But we were very naive to how big of a deal it was at the time, because that's kind of the moment we were in. So.
Yeah, my last question about the story and your involvement. What was it like to ultimately see him win the Super Bowl in New Orleans against the 49ers? After everything that you've seen him go through, and finally win that ultimate football prize.
Sure, that's a great question, and I don't know if I've ever actually been asked about that. Truthfully, it was awesome. That was really one of the most joyous moments of my life. And I didn't win the Super Bowl. I didn't do nothing. Couldn't have contributed to it less. But just really to see. That team had a lot of good guys, and I could talk about that. The Ravens team was awesome to watch. I went to school in Baltimore, college. I was a freshman in college actually when that happened. So to see what it meant for the city, but just for Mike, specifically to see someone in your family that happy after anything, I think it just felt like it all kind of paid off for him there. Because Super Bowl is something that no one can ever take away from you. I think that a lot of the achievements we have in life, fade. Not I don't say fade. That makes it sound a little morbid, but. Can be poked at and people do this and that, but to see him win that, man, like that's something that really stands the test of time and showed a tangible cause or effect of the work he put in. So
definitely another memory that will last forever. So just like Michael had his own athletic story, you had your own. You ended up playing basketball at Loyola University, Maryland. A great school in Maryland, just outside Baltimore. What made you choose Loyola specifically?
Yeah, a lot of reasons. Loyola was a great school. That was maybe the most fun year to be a freshman in Loyola ever, when the Ravens won the Super Bowl, and we had a good little team too. So I chose Loyola. One, like you said, it's a really good school, and that was important to me in my recruiting process. My brother played with the Ravens, so it was certainly attractive to be in Baltimore. I wish I'd had the foresight to see that would bring my mom to Baltimore more than I would have liked. I didn't think about that effect of it at the time, but I would visit him in the Ravens games for 2 or 3 years before. And I love Baltimore, and I had some good camps and around that area, and kind of got a scholarship offer from them. The coach that was there was a guy named Jimmy Patsos, and he could have 10 podcasts by himself. He is, I could tell a million Jimmy Patsos stories, and no one would believe one of them to be true. So I thought he was a great coach, and immediately when I met him through the recruiting process, I was like, man, this guy would be fun to play for. So it all kind of worked out. I had a good visit there. I love the campus. It made sense. I had a good vibe with the team. It was just one of the better schools that offered me. So it's not a crazy story. I wish there was some crazy line to it to tell it better, but just kind of happenstance that it worked out that way.
Yeah, well, it's probably a great place to play college sports, and given it's in the Patriot League, a lot of great campuses and schools that are involved in that league. Did you have a favorite place that you liked going to?
Question. When I got recruited, there was actually in the MAC, and I kind of like that style of basketball. It's kind of AAU that I grew up playing, and I was looking forward to being kind of a change of pace guard for our team, and also we moved to the Patriot League, which is a great league too. I like going to a lot of places. It was always cool to play, Army, Navy, service academies. I always ended up playing versus Navy more so. So, that was good. But truthfully, I liked the Patriot League school. A lot of small college towns, like Easton, Pennsylvania, and we always stayed at Hotel Bethlehem when we played in the Lehigh Valley. That was always a cool place to play and stay. So, there's good little teams all on that East Coast. So.
Okay, and how did the facilities at Loyola allow you to perform at a high level?
Oh gosh, man, I don't know that they, our facilities compared to where we are now, the places I've coached football at, or people would laugh at them. But at the time, I thought they were great, man. I didn't know any better. We loved them. So, I'd say the people were probably more important than the facilities for us. I think we had a good, my head coach and I, we weren't the closest, but we had a great support staff, strength coach and trainers, and those folks probably were better than the facilities themselves. But they've come a long way since I've been in school there.
That's a great answer. So, before we get to Liberty, what took place with you that ultimately led to your role at Liberty University?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. I was so bad at basketball. I ended up playing football in college for a year, and then thankfully I had a really good relationship with my football staff there at SMU. Got lucky enough to kind of intern there for a spring, and then all of a sudden got hired full time in the summer. And just happened to be when we got hired for that first season, we had a really, really good year. So got lucky enough to tag along to Arkansas, and so we got a better job because we won some games, and then obviously we lost some games, so we lost that job. And Coach Freeze here at Liberty, I've known since I was a child. He coached Mike at Briarcrest, and the job opened up. I was actually already a Liberty student online, so it kind of was appealing for that reason. I interviewed for the job, and it went well. Thought I could be an asset here. So again, I wish there was a crazy story other than getting fired from one job, another job being open, but I'm glad that it worked out the way it did.
Yeah. So at Liberty, can you take us through your day-to-day job, what it's like there? I mean, I know it's probably going to change once COVID ends, but what did you typically do on a day-to-day basis for your role?
I got hired to work in operations at Arkansas. I didn't. My head coach called and offered me the job and said I was going to be the DFE, and I knew that football operations was a DFO, director of football operations. I'm like, man, what does this mean, DFE? And he said that no, that means you do freaking everything, the DFE. So that kind of stuck with me as what we do in ops. It's really just everything, man. It depends on what the day entails, but most basically for someone who maybe doesn't know football, a program, so to speak, we kind of do like logistics, right? Anywhere from point A to point B, travel, budgeting, anything that's not on the field, we probably have some kind of hand in. So whether that's a recruiting budget or a plane flight to a game, or dealing with just a player's day-to-day needs, we're just there to put them in the right spot at the right time and make sure that they have what they need to succeed. And then from that point on, it's all the coaches. So
yeah, so you oversee a lot of things. I got to ask another facilities question. So what are the facilities like at Liberty, and how are they helping your players compete at a high level to win a bowl game?
We are really blessed at Liberty with our facilities. We have a great commitment from our university and our admin on our facility side of things. A lot of them are brand new. We got a brand new football operations building I work in as our day-to-day kind of house. Our indoor facility is really nice. Our stadium's great. And I think you can be good without facilities. You can be good with facilities, but I think it certainly makes it easier to get better in nice ones, and makes it easier to recruit players to nice ones. So we're thankful for what we have. I would encourage anyone who hadn't seen it that's recruited, to check it out. It's a really special place up in the mountains, man, scenic backdrop. So we are blessed with our facilities.
Yeah, so after winning a bowl game this year, my last question is, what is the next step for you with this staff and as the team going into year 2 and your time here?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. It's hard because each team is a year of its own in college, right? It's you get a quarter of your roster at least turns over, maybe a little less this year with COVID and all the crazy rules. So I think our biggest step, and I think the coaches probably have their own answers to that in their individual rooms, and Coach Freeze has ideas for the team, but it's sustaining it, right? I mean, I think that it's easy to take a step back and be complacent. We were 10-1, we lost one game, so you could sit there in the offseason and say, hey, we had a really good year. It's just going to happen again, but it doesn't happen. You got to make it that way. So I think our team did a really good job being consistent through all the crazy changes we had with COVID. And the question is, can we keep that consistency? Maybe when it's a normal year, can we keep that consistency through an offseason? We've had success. I think it's a lot easier to achieve success than it is to sustain it. So I look forward to seeing how our guys kind of react again. I just booked the flights and hotels and that kind of stuff. I can't go out there and do the workouts. So I'm a spectator in that regard.
Well, it should be a good year. And SJ, I really appreciate you coming on my show. We'll stay in touch, man.
Yeah, man, no doubt. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Have a good one.